fatigue and how it's driving hormonal imbalances, and why dieting has never felt safe within your body and has never helped you achieve the goal of sustainability when it comes to your health, and how it's a temporary or momentary band-aid that never is going to give you the results that you were looking for permanently or through your lifetime. Because permanently, when you think of permanent, you think of something that's there forever without having to do any work or any maintenance to it. But your body needs that effort. It needs your conscious and subconscious thought around it. It needs you to have that intentional pursuing, or that intentional action and habit forming that is going to help you be able to break the cycle. And so today I want to not only dive into hormonal imbalances and really make those pain points clearer, understanding the connection between what is going on within the body, but also understand exactly how we can get to the space of fixing it, how we can understand what is gone wrong so that we can lead ourselves to the answer of what to do to fix it. So if you are new here, hi, my name is Kendra. I'm a plant-based lifestyle strategist. If you're watching on YouTube, because I do post all of my previous lives on YouTube for the people here on TikTok, don't forget to subscribe. Drop any questions that you have down in the comments. I do respond to my questions in the comments. But also, don't forget to come follow me on TikTok so you can catch me live. And if you're watching this on TikTok, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube just in case you do forget or you miss any of the other lives. Fatigue doesn't just go away on its own, and a lot of people try different things to minimize or to release their fatigue, whether it's you doing some type of decompression when it comes to like physical activities of you, like maybe you work out for to release fatigue, or some type of emotional pent up emotional instability, that's what I'm going to call it, or anything that is going on with you mentally. A lot of people deal with fatigue every day because of the foods that they eat. A lot of people deal with fatigue every single day thinking that they don't sleep enough or that they have too much stress at work. And a lot of the fatigue is coming from the fact that many people don't give their body enough nutrients. And so your hormones become unpredictable. Your cravings become a space where not only do they drive you, but they become like they control you. And you cannot get away from the craving, or whatever it is that you are craving in that moment feels like it's impossible for you to move on past it without having that craving, whether it's sugar or sugary drinks or like candies and cookies or whatever else. Feeling like your weight won't shift, or that it's impossible for you to be able to come back to whatever you were before, or feeling like it's so stubborn that this is a part of what your life is like and this is how your body operates. Because the things that you have that are feeling off, and even when you're doing everything right, sometimes it just means that there's a clear sign that your body is not responding to the actions that you have. And it's not because there's something wrong with your body and that your body is broken, but it's because of the conditions that you were under, whether it's a whole bunch of stress externally and internally, or it's just an overall internal stressful place because of the lack of nutrients, overloaded inflammation, maybe not enough fruits, enough vegetables. A number of different things can cause you to not respond correctly to eating right, to eating healthy. And so people have to understand that it's not about you having discipline or you trying new things and working harder or having another dietary plan, but it's about you understanding the symptoms that are coming from your body and making the connections of why you feel so inflamed, why you feel fatigued. Thank you for the likes and thank you for the heart puffs. How you doing, Elle? Welcome in. Understanding why you don't feel safe within yourself and how the body it's not able to reverse or to heal itself in a space that does not feel safe. Because when you are dealing with malnutrition, or overall that the body is internally starving, even though you fill yourself with food every single day, you're not fueling your body. So then in return, it feels like it's starving. And so this is the reason why you can eat a meal and 15, 20, 30 minutes later, you're hungry and you're trying to figure out why you're hungry, or maybe you just need a little sweet snack. And it's not because it is a habit pattern thing of the fact that like subconsciously you have trained yourself in that space. But when you understand how the body operates, a lot of the times it's because you didn't get enough nutrients with the foods that you were eating. And since you weren't satiated more than just like, oh, I have enough salt, I have enough sugar, I have enough healthy fats, you weren't given enough protein, you weren't given enough fiber, you weren't given enough iron. These are all important aspects of your food and your intake that impact how you respond afterwards, how your body absorbs glucose on a cellular level so that you are able to use it for energy, for example. Because when you're sitting here fed calories but being starved of actual nutrients, you are going to be sitting here feeling fatigued midday. You're going to be feeling fatigued majority of your life. You're going to be sitting here thinking that you need coffee and that in reality you're just not sleeping enough. And for the people who sleep 12 hours on the weekend because you're so tired, and even though you do work, a lot of you are not understanding that your body is responding to the lack of nutrients, not being overworked. And so, or rather not overworked in the physical sense, but overworked in the external physical sense, but the internal physical sense rather. Because when you're overworking your organs and they're not given enough nutrients, yeah, you're not going to be able to get up and work out. Yeah, you're going to be tired every single day. Yes, you're going to have to depend on coffee. Feeling full does not always mean that you are nourished. And we know this because think about the times where you eat too much and then you're feeling too full and then you go take a nap and then you wake up and you're starving again. That means that you were over full, but you were not fueled. Because you should not wake up from that nap. You shouldn't get done with eating and then feel like, well, I'm still starving. What should I do? A lot of people blame themselves or they punish themselves for being hungry. A lot of women are taught this because this is a way for you to diet, right? You calorie count, you restrict. You tell yourself if you're hungry, that means that we didn't eat enough. Or rather, you tell yourself that you're hungry and we already ate, so that means that you ate enough. And so since you ate enough, we don't respond to the hunger cues. We don't understand what the hunger cues mean. We don't listen to the hunger cues. And all this does is teach your body that you cannot be trusted to respond to the symptoms and the signs that it's giving you, nor to pinpoint what's going on. And so over years of you doing this, you ignore what your body signs are, and then guess what happens? During the process of you ignoring it subconsciously, you start telling your body, I don't listen to you. We can't trust you for your cues. And so since we can't trust the cues, now we're on the space of developing a chronic disease, and we're not going to know what these symptoms mean because we're never pinpointing how they started. And so when we develop the chronic illness or disease, and there's so much information and there's so much research about medications and surgeries, now you can spit out all this knowledge that you have around diabetes. But in reality, you've had insulin resistance for 20 or 30 years. You just didn't know what it looked like. You didn't know what the leading up signs were. Yes, a diagnosis is something that a doctor can give you after so many symptoms start to pile up. But when you start to recognize the simplification of like fatigue, of inflammation, understanding what that excess weight gain that's coming from and like how it's impacting your body, your digestive tract needs to constantly be at a particular pH to not only build itself up to protect its immune or protect your immune system, but also to absorb nutrients. And so when you eat all day, you eat 3 meals a day, you eat snacks in between, or rather you're skipping and you're fasting in between, and you don't have enough nourishment, your body goes into fight or flight mode. It's not about how much you eat. It's the matter of you understanding what your cells respond to and how they respond to these things so that you know where your symptoms are coming from. So you can change the habits that are causing your cells to not respond correctly. Because like I just talked about, you can't get glucose on a cellular level if you're not eating the things that help your blood sugar balance so that you can unlock the cell so that it can give you energy. So when you're not doing this on a daily basis, like a lot of people do, and this is the reason why tons of people have diabetes, high blood pressure, have a whole bunch of issues with their weight. It is because now things are being stored inside of your fat cells. They're being stored inside of your liver. Your digestive tract is backed up. You're having issues with your kidneys filtering your blood. Like it impacts each individual organ, which all connect together. Because it's not about you just taking a gut supplement or you taking some type of brain tincture or whatever else that is a momentary band-aid, but understanding what your body is lacking. An adequate amount of proteins, minerals, amino acids, fiber, phytonutrients, like these are something that your internal system cannot compromise on. It compensates because it has to figure out how to keep you alive, but it cannot compromise on, okay, well today I don't think I don't have that much protein, so I'm not going to eat this protein. Your internal system has to compensate, which means that your liver is working overtime. This means your pancreas is having to produce more insulin, release more insulin. Your adrenal glands are getting pushed out, or your adrenal glands are telling from your brain, is telling your adrenal glands, excuse me, to push out more cortisol. Like, this is a dangerous place to be in. You said you're on day 2 being plant based and you're struggling. What are you struggling with exactly? The brain stays alert when you are in a space where you're pumping out too much cortisol, you're inflamed, your gut is leaky. Like, this makes your body say, we are in survival mode because we might unalive and we don't know when we're going to unalive, but this is not the environment for me to stay and be healthy in. And so I need you to fix it, or we're going to have more problems, more breakdowns, because you're overworking the body. When you tell your body it is not safe to rest, this is when fatigue sets in, because you're not saying it physically or even mentally, hey, you're not safe to rest. But subconsciously, your brain is checking off every box that is wrong. So the gut is off, the liver's off, the pancreas is off, the brain is off, because the gut and the brain are directly connected. Your kidneys are not filtering your blood correctly. You have too much fat being stored now. You have too many things that are in your digestive tract before you go to bed. And then after this, the brain goes, you know what? We're going to have to tell ourselves that we're not safe, and how we're going to show that we're not safe is fatigue. So then you're feeling lazy. You're trying to figure out why you have no energy. I know a lot of people who tell me that they've gone vegan, or that they've been vegan for a while, or that they tried it and they had to quit, was because they had no energy. And then when I asked what they were eating, they weren't eating a plethora of foods that give you nourishment. And I'm like, that is literally you just raw dogging life. Like, you have no food, no nourishment. A lot of y'all don't even drink enough water. And when you're eating meats, yes, it's going to give you that animal protein and animal fat that is going to keep you alive, but that does not mean it's going to keep you healthy. And so a lot of people who are like naysayers against being plant-based, and how they're like, we're meat eaters and we've been meat eaters for generations after generations. Meat is not the same quality that it used to be. They weren't going and getting frozen meat that has been shipped, packaged, or whatever else, flown out and been in a frozen section for months, maybe even years. How long? Because you don't really know. There was local farmers. You literally could walk down the store, like how you have a Kroger, a Publix, or whatever else within 2 minutes of you. That was their community. It wasn't them just driving to the nearest grocery store and getting a chain grocery store of foods. They had whatever was grown in their family, in their garden, or in their community. That's what they were consuming. They knew their local farmer. They knew their local farmer wasn't in a GMO crop space or close to it, getting cross-contaminated. There's so many things that you have to think about. And I know that applies to fruits and vegetables as well, but we have to think about what is causing the main issue right now, because fruits and vegetables are not causing the issue for people. The people who are so concerned about, which you shouldn't be eating genetically modified foods, but overall, but the people who are so concerned about genetically modified fruits and vegetables are the same ones that are eating the genetically modified foods when it comes to protein, when it comes to meats. You're also not only eating the genetically modified proteins from that animal, but you're consuming their milk, which is inflammatory. And GMOs are inflammatory. And they have even studies have shown that, I think they did it either in China or Europe. They did the study a couple years ago of the fact that genetically modified foods in general cause another type of cancer cell to replicate. And it's a new cancer cell that they hadn't had before. And they know this. This isn't something that they were just like, this is happening. This is so weird. We didn't know it was going to happen. They knew this was going to happen. They knew it still happened. They know it's still happening. And nobody is talking about it. People talk about all the time about how they don't really care because they're here for a good time and not a long time. So they're eating their McDonald's or Taco Bell and all this other crap, all this fake meat, whatever meat, Beyond Meat, and etc. And you don't understand what you're doing to your system. Inflammation causes brain fog. It causes this hormone disruption. It causes poor sleep. It causes anxiety, water tension, stubborn weight, irregular cycles. And a lot of women deal with hormonal issues, which are leading to their life dealing with fibroids or cysts, endometriosis. So we have to look at what inflammation is doing. Thank you for the follows. And how it's causing you to go into overdrive, which is making your organs work all the time. And your organs are having to ask for more and overcompensate from each other, which are just making a domino effect of everybody's asking from somebody who has nothing to give. Like, that's literally like you walking to your neighbor's house when you know that there's a power outage in the neighborhood and asking them, can you plug your phone in? Like, nobody has any power. There's no way for you to charge your phone. And that's what your body is literally telling you. We have no power. You can't go to the liver and ask it to keep detoxifying and helping the blood out, because the blood is dirty, and so is the liver. So do you see how it's a full circle of just throwing off your body and not making the connections when you just eat and consume any kind of way or follow what they're telling you with the pyramids and the plates? I have been talking about how they changed up the pyramid and they wanted to flip it upside down now, which is crazy because one minute they flipped it upside down, then they flipped it back upright, and then now they're flipping it upside down again. This is not a coincidence. They have made everybody in America specifically overweight, diabetic, full of fatigue, hormonal imbalances, and then now guess what? Now they're telling you need more proteins, which proteins stabilize your blood sugar. Proteins help you be able to not only stabilize your blood sugar, but also to keep your body overall in a space of hormonal regulation. Because when you're getting enough healthy proteins and fats, the body is going to be able to say, you know what? I can use this for something. When you give your body a correct amount of pH in the gut, your gut is like, oh, your immune system is healthy today. And guess what? Your digestive tract is going to be smooth. But so this is for the people, especially the women who get really, really backed up before their cycle. You have to think about how much you are not regulating your gut and your digestive tract before you have your cycle, and then you get constipated right before, and you're wondering why you're going to the bathroom for the first 2 days and you're on the toilet a lot. That's not just because you're a woman and you bleed and this is what the body does, but it's because the fact that you are not supporting your full system. And so since you don't have enough nutrients for you to go in the time of menstruation, the body has to overcompensate and overwork. And so that's the reason why you get constipated in the beginning, because the digestive tract is not what it's worried about. It's trying to get ready to help you menstruate. Digesting, you don't need to digest when you're about to shed your uterine lining. And so a lot of women wonder why they get so sick, why they get so fatigued during that time. And it is coming from the lack of nutrients. If you do not know how to eat for your cycle phases, you are not going to support your full system during the time of menstruation. So this is the reason why you have low iron. This is the reason why you feel like, oh my God, I have no energy and I'm fatigued and then I'm starving. And then you're craving all this sugar and chocolate. It's not just because you're menstruating, but it's literally because the nutrients is lacking and your body is trying to speak to you. But subconsciously, consciously, you have trained yourself to not know what the subconscious wants. And so consciously, your body craves chocolate when you need iron and magnesium. And so guess what? Now you're craving all this chocolate during that week when you should have just been eating more iron and magnesium. So you see how the body communicates, but as the time goes on of highly processed foods, excess animal products, low fiber meals, and a whole bunch of blood sugar spikes, you can't decipher what it actually wants. So then you have an inflamed gut, you have a liver that can't filter, and you have a pancreas that's work overtime. And yet we are told to eat less as women. Eat less, calorie count, restrict. And this makes us starve ourselves. And then we wonder why we're so hungry. And when you starve yourself in this space, when you're already not getting enough nutrients, do you know that this makes the body more inflamed? Do you understand that this isn't giving you some type of relief, but instead it's making you punish yourself for having a natural response to the lack? It doesn't resolve anything by you restricting yourself because you're inflamed. Understanding that you need to replenish the body with nutrients. And it's a tragedy that we're taught this from a very, very young age instead of being taught how to eat more plant-based foods, because these plant-based foods are going to help you be able to shift not only your physical body externally, but internally as well. I have women that come to me who have been small all their life that wanted to go plant-based because they had a number of health issues, and they always ask about weight. They're like, how do I not lose weight while I'm here? And I say the same thing every single time: you're not eating enough. The women who are sitting here struggling with their weight and they want to go plant-based and they've gained weight over the years, or they've had children and they're asking me and they're like, how do I start this and how do I start losing weight? And I say the same thing: you need to eat more. You're not understanding the concept of how impactful it is for you to get enough nutrients, especially specifically enough healthy proteins. And it's more than just, oh, I have to eat my protein from meat or eating a protein or drinking a protein shake, but understanding that proteins come from a different amount of nutrient or different spaces of nutrients. And you don't have to sit here and just consume from the space of an animal product. Because protein isn't just about your muscles. Protein is about the communication that it does to the cells. It communicates to your blood sugar, hey, you can be regulated. It slows down your digestive tract. It helps you signal safety throughout the body. It rebuilds tissue. It helps you be able to support the detoxification, so your liver. It helps you be able to feed your neurotransmitters. So guess what? Now the brain is pumping out healthy, happy hormones versus your brain sitting here pumping out anxiety, depression, panic attacks. Plant-based proteins do something different to the body because not only are they packed with a whole bunch of fiber, which we lack, because if you are living in America, we don't get enough fiber on a regular basis, and they add so much fiber into our food because everything is stripped of its nutrients. And that fake fiber is not recognized through your body as real fiber. It helps you be able to get antioxidants to your body so that, guess what? This helps with inflammation. Phytonutrients help you be able to balance your hormones. And this all comes from you getting the right kind of proteins. It also helps you in getting alkalized minerals to the cellular space, which AKA helps cellular repair. So a lot of people were talking about, I think it was like 2021-ish, alkaline water. Everybody was on the alkaline water and how alkaline water is so impactful. But a lot of y'all, which it is, but a lot of y'all don't realize that it's not about you getting some fancy smancy alkaline water and added back minerals and vitamins in your water. It's just simply you eating fruits and vegetables from the earth. Yes, you should have filtered water. I literally have a filtered water bottle that I carry with me. And if you want to know what that is, I have a video on it. It's by Epic Water Filters. That's who it's by. I forgot the name for a second. And it literally filters out everything. Like everything we have, chlorine, all the fluoride, all the different things. So I drink clean water. But as somebody who drinks clean water and does not add any alkalizing minerals back into my water, I eat them. And so that's the same thing that happens when you need oxygen and when you need hydration on a cellular level. You get it from fruits and vegetables. You can drink 8 glasses of water like they used to recommend, and now they recommend you to drink it for, I think is it your body mass or your body fat? I don't know exactly which one it is. When you are eating fruits, specifically water-based fruits, water-based vegetables, this is how you get hydration on a cellular level. And guess what cannot thrive in a space where you get hydration on a cellular level? Cancer. Cancer cannot live in this space. So all of the and they know this, mind you, because all of the cancer patients that are sitting here doing chemo and radiation, they have started, I don't know if it was in like testing. I think it's still in testing. They have a cancer pill that is based on it overloading the body, just like chemo and radiation does, but without the chemo and the radiation side effects. It overloads the body with the oxygen, vitamin C, and I don't think it hydrates you, but they keep you hydrated with those liquid IVs and things that they do during that time. And these are the 3 things that they're using to combat it. How I know this is because my grandma at the time had cancer. I was looking into her options. She was not wanting to go herbal. She was not with it. She was like, I can't just cut out my stuff. She was like, I trust my doctor. And I was like, okay, well, let's go with the option that is going to be more reasonable when it comes to your health, because you're not only older, but you're also not going to want to do chemo and radiation if there's other options. So she looked into the pill, and I was doing research on it. She was asking me different questions about it, and I literally looked it up. And instead of them giving you the natural sources of all these things, which they give you a chemical form. And it's been in testing for, I don't know. I know it was before 2020 or something. It's been in testing for quite a while. And the only reason why that they haven't approved it for full release yet is because they cannot mimic what fruits and vegetables do. This is the reason why. GMOs are so dangerous because they cannot mimic what things from the earth do. It's not about controlling yourself. It's not about having the most motivation or the most discipline. It's about you knowing your biology and you understanding how to finally support your biology. And so, if you are in looking for a space that's getting you away from diet culture and getting you away from the slow digestive tract, the fat storage, and the hormonal chaos, my one on ones is going to show you how you learn your biology and you understand how impactful eating plant based foods is with my foundation to a plant based lifestyle masterclass that you get bundled with that one on one session. That is a limited time bundle. If you are wanting to check that out, it is linked in my bio. If you have any questions for me, please drop your questions down. I have to go get my dog some dog food and things because I have to do shopping too. So I need to get off now. But if you guys have any questions, please drop them in the comments. If you're not on my email list, I send out a Wellness Wednesday every single week. Thank you guys for the follows and the likes. I also send out when I go live so you don't miss my lives, and plenty of other different things in the context of education on the health space and eating more plant-based foods and etc. Last year we did Wellness Wednesdays all year, and then this year we're doing that as well. The year before we did Food Fridays. So if you're around, you know exactly what we got going on. All the little free tidbits and things that I have are on my email list as well as on my YouTube. They can help you get started in any space that you were in if you're looking to eat plant-based. And if you're needing more one-on-one guidance that is tailored specifically to you, and what has helped me over the years, over 5 years of me being plant-based, go check those out. The links are in my bio. If you have any questions, please drop them down. If not, I'm gonna hop off. T-Love, I really appreciate you for the follow. Thank you. Any questions? Any at all? My puppers over there sleep. Thank you for the follow, just Tony. Any questions? I'll give you guys about 1 more minute. And I'll head out at 12. Any questions for me? And if there is no questions, I hope that I have impacted you positively in being able to understand what's going on with our health. And not only being able to stay in a stabilized, balanced place, but also just overall learning what is going on with your symptoms and making those connections so that you can change for a better change, a healthier change. All right, I'm not seeing any questions, so I'm gonna hop off. I try to go live at least 3 times a week. This is our first live for this week. So like I said, if you're on the email list, you'll know when I go live. It's really hard for me to track exactly when I can go live with way my life is with clients and everything else with my dog. So I kind of just like email list. It's more sporadic. Sometimes I might be on early. Every now and then I might be on late. It just really depends. So if you're on my email list, you'll know. Like I said, that is a limited time bonus. It won't be here forever. So if you're looking for that, book a one-on-one session and you will get that bonus of eating or a foundation to eating a plant-based lifestyle. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. I hope this has impacted